All right, you all. So you all should have the notes paper passed out. You should have this at your desk with a pencil. This is a skill that I've already taught to you all. This is solving two-step equations. Now, I'm going to go over here on this side and go over some one-step equations real quick just before we get back into the two-step. But remember, when you solve an equation, you have to keep it balanced. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. The opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is division. So on your side of your notes here, we're just going to throw a few one-step problems on here. So these are one step. All right, so something like x plus 3 equals 7. All right, so I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign, and I'm going to look at the side that the x is on. So I look at this side over here, and I look what's between the x and the number. So between the x and the number, I have a plus sign. So that's x plus 3. So the opposite of adding 3 is to subtract 3. Now, whatever I do to one side, I do the exact same to the other side of that equal sign, the other side of that line. And I ask myself, what is 3 minus 3? Well, 3 minus 3 is 0. So that's x equals 7 minus 3 is 4. And I can check that, plug that 4 back in. What is 4 plus 3? Well, that's 7, so I'm right. Okay, another one is one like this. Okay, 5x equals 15. Well, I look at the side that the x is on, so I don't need to look here. And I ask myself, what operation is between the 5 and the x? So between them, there's nothing. So I know in math that there's nothing between a number and a variable. It's understood that that is multiplication. So this is 5 times x. So the opposite of multiplying by 5 is to divide by 5, once on each side of my equal sign. So 5 divided by 5 is just 1x, which is x, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. And I can check it. What is 5 times 3? Well, that's 15. Okay, this one. Okay, so I just kind of switched it around here. I put the x on the other side, but it's still the same. So 7 equals x minus 2. So I look at the side that the x is on, and I ask myself, what operations between the x and the number? Well, it's subtraction, a minus, x minus 2. So the opposite of subtracting 2 is to add 2, once on each side of my equal sign. So negative 2 plus 2 is 0, and 7 plus 2 is 9. So 9 equals x. And check it. What is 9 minus 2? It's 7. So I know my answer is correct. Okay, so we're going to move into some two-step now. So it says equations are like seesaws and must remain balanced. So that's what we were talking about here. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. Okay, so to solve a two-step equation, first, I'm going to locate the variable in the equation. So that's what I was doing. I was finding where the variable was. I was looking at what operation was between the number and the variable on the one-step equations. But with two-step, you are going to first use addition or subtraction to isolate the variable part, and then use multiplication and division to isolate the variable. So I'm going to undo the addition and subtraction first, and then I'll undo the multiplication and division second, and then show your answer. And if you do not show your work, I will throw your paper away. I cannot say that enough. If you do not show your work, it will get thrown away. So just like all the work I showed up here, there's an example of some work here. I have to see that or it's trashed. Okay, so they went ahead and kind of started this example over here, and we're going to finish it. So I look at the side that the x is on. Okay, well, on the side that the x is on, I see that there is a minus 12 because I always undo the addition and subtraction first. So to get rid of minus 12, I'm going to add 12, once to each side of my equal sign. So negative 12 plus 12 is 0. So I'm left with 3x over there. 18 plus 12, that's 30. And then I use multiplication or division to isolate the variable. So I look between the number and the x. There's nothing between them, so that's how I know it's multiplication. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides of my equal sign. So 3 divided by 3 is just 1x, which is the same thing as x. And then 30 divided by 3 is 10. And I can check it. What's 3 times 10? 30. What's 30 minus 12? 18, so I know I'm right. All right, we're going to flip it over. It is blank back here, and that's going to be so I know if you are paying attention to the notes. Okay, so number one, we're going to start with 5x minus 6 equals 14. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the side that the x is on. So the side that the x is on is this 5x minus 6. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo my addition or subtraction. So I've got a minus 6. So I know I'm going to add 6 first. So plus 6, and whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side of my equal sign. So negative 6 plus 6, well, that's 0. So that's 5x equals 20. And then I look between the 5 and the x. There's nothing between them, so I know that's multiplication. So to get rid of 5 times x, I'm going to divide by 5. So 5 divided by 5 cancels out, and I get just x. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. And I will not allow you to use a calculator on these. So make sure you're checking them and taking your time to get the numbers correct. All right, I'm going to check mine. 5 times 4, I know that's 20. And 20 minus 6, that's 14. All right, I'm going to let you all try this one on your own. All right, so I'll give you just a couple minutes. Try this one. All right, if you all need more time, pause the video, but I'm going to go ahead and go over this one. All right, so I look at the side that the x is on. I see a minus 6, so I'm going to get rid of that first. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So minus 6 plus 6 is 0. So that leaves me with a negative 3x equals 12 plus 6. That's 18. Now, a lot of people mess up on this part because of this negative. If you look between the number and the x, there's nothing between them. So that's how I know it's multiplication. So I'm going to divide by negative 3. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is just 1x, which is x. And 18 divided by a negative 3. Well, 18 divided by 3 is 6. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So negative 6. And I can check it. Negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. And 18 minus 6 is 12. So I'm right. All right, let's do this one together. So 8 equals negative x plus 5. Okay. So remember, just because this number is written first does not mean you do it any different. You're first going to start out by looking at the side that the x is on. So I look over here, the side that the x is on, and I see a plus 5. I always undo the addition and subtraction first. So to get rid of the plus 5, I'm going to minus 5, once from each side. So 5 minus 5 is 0. That leaves me with negative x equals 8 minus 5. That's 3. Now, a lot of us are going to want to stop here and say, oh, well, there's no number in front of the x. Well, look at all of our answers we've done this far. X equals. This is a negative x. So that's like a negative 1x. So I'm going to have to get x still by itself, a positive x. So this is negative 1x. There's nothing between them, so that's how I know it's multiplication. So I'm going to divide by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 cancels out, and I get x equals 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. And I can check it. Negative, negative 3, well, negative, negative, that's positive 3 plus 5, that's 8. So it's correct. All right, you all try this one on your own. Okay, if you still need some more time, have the sub pause the video and then play again when you all are ready. Okay, so I look on the side that the X is on. I see a plus 11 and I know to subtract 11 because I always undo the addition and subtraction first. So 11 minus 11 is 0. So that's 4x equals 3 minus 11. Those are different signs, subtract. So 11 minus 3 is 8. 11's bigger, it's negative. So I keep the sign of the larger number. And then I look here on the X side. This is 4x. There's nothing between them, so I know it's multiplication. So 4 times x, I'll divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 cancels out. And x equals negative 8 divided by 4. That's negative 2. And I can check 4 times negative 2. That's negative 8. And negative 8 plus 11. Those are different signs. Subtract 11 minus 8 is 3. 11's bigger. It's positive. So positive 3. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, so this one's probably going to be the trickiest for us, just because they kind of rewrote it. They kind of mixed some stuff around here. So yes, it's equal to the number first and the X is on this side. But the issue here is that a lot of people want to subtract the 9x because there's a plus 9x. So like, oh, I need to do the addition or subtraction first, which is correct. But if you look at your steps, and I'll flip my paper over, you would use addition or subtraction to isolate the variable part. So I'm trying to get that variable part by itself first. So I'm trying to get this 9x by itself first. Oh, I just shut off. Hold on. So what's over there with that 9x is this negative 4. This negative 4 needs to go away before I can get rid of this 9. So I'm going to get rid of this negative 4. Like I said, it's a negative 4. So I'm going to add 4 once to each side. So negative 4 plus 4 is 0. And then that left me with being able to isolate my variable part. That 9x now drops down. 14 plus 4, that's 18. And then I'll divide by 9 because that's 9 times x. So x equals 18 divided by 9, that's 2. And you can check it. 9 times 2, that's 18. 18 plus negative 4, that's 14. All right, let me do another one like that so you can see it again. Okay, so looking at number 6 here, I'm looking at the side that the x is on, and I see 10 plus 2x. Well, I know that I want to undo the addition and subtraction first because I want to get this 2x by itself. So that means I need to get rid of this 10. Now, I look in front of the 10 is a positive 10. So to undo a positive 10, I will subtract 10. So 10 minus 10 is 0. So that just leaves me with my 2x over there. 8 minus 10, well, positive 8, negative 10. Different sign, subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. 10's bigger, it's negative, so negative 2. And then to get x all the way by itself, this is 2 times x. I'm going to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels out, and x equals negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Okay, I'm going to let you all try this one, and then we'll do one more and call it done. All right, so go ahead and try this one. Try number 7. Okay, so looking at the side that the x is on, I know I want to get this 2x by itself first. So I need to get rid of this negative 3. because I always want to get rid of the number first, undo the addition and subtraction first to get this 2x by itself. So -3, I'm going to add 3. -3 plus 3 is 0. So that leaves me with 2x equals 9 plus 3, that's 12. And then to get x all the way by itself, I'm going to divide by 2. So x equals, and it's gone again, it always does this. Well, shut itself off again. I don't know what's wrong with this. I think something's wrong with the program. There we go. Okay. So divide by 2, 12 divided by 2 is 6. All right, this last one might be the hardest one for some of us. Okay, so 4 minus 5x equals -16. So like we said before, we want to isolate the variable part by doing addition and subtraction first. So my variable part is this -5x because it's got that negative in front of it. So that's a -5x. That negative has nothing to do with this 4 because the sign in front is the sign that it keeps. So this is a -5x, which means I need to remove this 4. This is a +4. So I'm going to subtract 4 to move it to the other side because 4 minus 4 is 0. I have that -5x that will stay there. That negative, that sign in front is the sign that it keeps. -16 minus 4, that same sign. Add and keep. So 16 plus 4 is 20. They're both negative, so I keep the sign. Same sign, add and keep. And then to get x all the way alone, I look between the -5 and the x. There's nothing, so that's multiplication. So I'm going to divide by -5. So -5 divided by -5 cancels out. So that's x equals, and -20 divided by -5, negative divided by negative is a +4. All right, so you're going to get a homework paper, which you're hopefully going to get finished today. So this is what it looks like. So once the video turns off, then you'll get this passed out. So it says solve each equation, so show all necessary work. And I put on there show all work or a 0. You're going to get a 0 if you don't show your work like I did on the homework. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to answer all these questions. You'll notice that there's a letter next to them. So like, let's say you get, I don't know, let's see, 12. Let's say that letter P is 12. So when you go to the back, when you see a 12, you're going to put a P. Okay. You don't get this part, not a huge deal. It'd be awesome if you could, but I care most about you solving the problems with all your work shown. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask somebody in the room. I'm sure somebody in here is an expert and can help you. All right, I will see you all tomorrow, and this paper will be due tomorrow.